Now, in the middle of the anti-austerity marches on College Green on Saturday, there was a lonely man playing a piano with a chalkboard that said he was playing for love, or a lost love, as it happens. Luke Howard had been dumped after a 4-month romance, and in a gesture that could have come from a Richard Curtis film, the Bathman was going to play piano day and night to express his love. However, do we live in more cynical times, perhaps, because it all went horribly and indeed violently wrong and made headlines from here to Australia? In his first broadcast interview, Luke joins me on the programme now. Luke, thanks very much indeed for coming on the programme. What was the idea? What was the plan?
Well, there wasn't really a greatly formed plan, but really, yeah, I just met an amazing girl. My whole kind of world seemed black and white, and it kind of lit up with wonderful colour when I met her. But yeah, so things got in the way. I didn't do things I should have done, perhaps, and it kind of ended. So yeah, so I wanted to do something about it, and I didn't really know what to do apart from play piano. So that's what I tried to do. Because
there's been so much written about this over the course of the week. This is more than a story of what happened to you. This is a story that's literally gone around the world. You've had calls from Australia, from New York, from national television shows, and the stories got lost in translation. Were you going to play until you sort of beat her into submission, figuratively speaking? Or
yeah, that's kind of what was portrayed.
What was the idea then?
Well, the idea, I just wanted to send out a message. You know, I didn't want to flood her with a whole bunch of emails or texts or anything like that. I just wanted to send her a message which she might hear, and because I really wasn't sure if she really knew how deeply I felt about her, so I thought I'd just play, and that was the actual idea, but I in no way wanted to try and emotionally blackmail her.
Yeah, you were in the middle then of the anti-austerity marches, weren't you? You're sitting there.
Yeah, that was inconvenient.
You'd actually had the piano sent in, didn't you? And brought
I bought it the day before and got it delivered. Yeah, so they tuned it up on the grass for me.
And as far as you were concerned, it was a romantic gesture. Is that is that the beginning and end of it? It was a naive gesture.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think I'd be pretty naive now to say it wasn't naive. But you know, I did what I thought was right at the time. It was a genuine thing.
When did things start to go wrong then?
I think it started to go wrong the way it was reported initially in the Post. I don't think that was done maliciously or on purpose, but it was suggested that I'd sit there until she came back to me, and that's not actually what I said. You can check the video. I said I'd stay there until she heard it, you know, and I also. I'm quoted in saying in the story that she could take it or leave it, you know, and that I just wanted to portray a message.
But the paper reported what they thought had happened, and they were, you know, they were reporting the story basically. But it was the trolls and and when it went onto the internet that some of the actual hateful stuff started. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, it kind of it started off quite slowly, and a few things came in, and then it just got wildly out of control. I think there were a lot of people. Who and I don't actually blame them, because I think the way it was reported, it was suggestive that I was being kind of, you know, creepy, so to speak. But yeah, they just I think it just got out of hand.
Well, that you were invading her space, that you were you were stalking your girlfriend.
Yeah. I got called stalker and many other great things which I probably can't mention on the show.
How far away was she from College Green?
Well, she lived up in Clifton.
Right.
So yeah.
So you weren't exactly outside her front door doing this.
No. You know, I honestly thought I just wanted to show her how much I loved her.
But there was violence involved, Luke. What happened to you in the middle of the night? That was
so I was kind of the clubs had kicked out, so I was there. It was roughly about 3:34, and I just keep on playing. I was quite tired, but still playing. And then I just felt a really sharp pain to the back of my head, got knocked down, and then proceeded to get kicked in the head quite a few times. So that was interesting.
Yeah. And you decided. Quite rightly, that would be the end of it.
Well, no, you know, do you know what? Not really, Steve. You know, even I was pretty exhausted, but you know what? I didn't. That wasn't really it. It was more with the fact that this person that I deeply cared about, I just realised that this was going to absolutely embarrass her, and it just turned into something that.
Have you heard from her since?
No.
Not since last Saturday when this thing happened.
No.
Have you heard from her friends? Have you heard how she's taking this?
No. I think. I think it was only right for me to keep a complete distance.
None of her friends have got in touch with you?
No.
And said one thing at either side?
No.
Yeah. But you've had a lot of reaction. I mean, you've had a lot of hate mail, you've had a lot of threats, all sorts of things going on. But you've also had a fair bit of people coming from the other side, right from around the world. Give us an example or two of that.
Yeah, so I've had some really beautiful and sincere Facebook messages. which
in among those that weren't.
Yeah. But people who like literally so many that I can't reply to them, thousands. There's a guy called Cameron from New York who said if everyone took to the streets with an instrument by way of processing heartbreak, the world would be better off. And from Wellington, New Zealand, a lady called Sarah, she said, Luke, I was stalked by a guy for 2 years. Trying to show how much you love someone the way you did was not stalkerish or creepy, it was beautiful. So that was, that's been nice to hear.
Yeah, and more close to home really nationally, Loose Women got in touch with you, didn't they?
Yeah, they're actually really lovely too. I think, I mean, of course it was a ridiculous thing to do in hindsight, I understand, but I didn't really, when you care about somebody so much, you don't really care about stuff like that. I wasn't bothered about my self-image.
When you say it was a ridiculous thing to do, are you agreeing with those that said it was the wrong thing to do, that it was an invasion of your girlfriend's privacy and so on, or do you think that it was just misjudged?
I think it was misjudged. I think it was kind of probably an eccentric thing to do, but that's me, But I don't think it was I obviously didn't mention her name, so I did kind of try and keep that.
How's it changed your life, Luke? Because this has been a hell of a week in more ways than one.
Yeah.
How's it changed you? How's it affected your life?
Well, to begin with, I was obviously quite hurt and upset by it because I sincerely didn't ever want to, and I apologise to anybody that I hurt any women who felt like horrified by it. I'm very sorry, but it's changed my life because. It was horrible to begin with, but now it's kind of inspired me, one, to defend myself because I really didn't want to come across like that, but secondly because so many people have said how inspired they were, and I think love's a beautiful thing and it should be talked about more.
The interesting thing I think in this is that there is a debate to be had as to whether that kind of gesture lives in this day and age now, maybe a bit of colour goes out of life, maybe a bit of humour, I just don't know, but that debate's been there to be had, but certainly not in the way that it was conducted for you and the kind of desperate sort of trolling that you put up with.
Yeah, I think it's a sad thing, it's a sad thing. I was literally, I was quite absolutely staggered that people thought so much of it, to be honest with you. But yeah, it was just, I'm just a simple guy who just wanted to show somebody how much they love them.
Is the matter finished as far as you're concerned?
Yeah, well, in terms of that girl, I should probably imagine. I don't think she's going to be very keen, but
well, listen, I appreciate you using our programme to come on and tell your story.
No, I appreciate the opportunity to give my side of the story.
And thanks very much indeed for coming.
Cheers,
thank you. Now, coming on next, the woman who isn't impressed at the show of anti-austerity strength at the weekend. Campaigner Kerry Bales joins me, along with the leader of the Liberal Democrats on the council, Gary Hopkins. All of that is coming up on Crunch the Week with me, Steve Lefebvre, after this short break. Stay with us.